All right. So here we are, going live. So welcome everybody. So I'm here in Paxton, Massachusetts at Meta Wellness. This is where I teach. And the owner of Meta Wellness, Heather Small, she's giving me the space here today to do this live. So we'll give a couple of minutes, let people join in. After this video is over, I have a link below to the 16 posture, just a demonstration. I mentioned before that I would do a demonstration of what the form looks like after many hours of practice. So I have that link below. I recorded just the other day. So today is a beautiful day. I wish we were doing this outside, but you need a certain number of subscribers to do that, unfortunately. So just a little hint, subscribe. Tell your friends, subscribe. So we have two postures today, and then we're done. We have what's called cross hands and then closed Tai Chi. Today's lesson is going to be very simple. If you made it this far, today's class was going to be a breeze. So, so let's get started. Okay, I'm hoping that the lighting is okay. I had the lights on earlier, and I think it might be a little bit more disturbing. So we'll try it with the lights off, and hopefully we have a good picture here. So before we begin, why don't we just take a moment to relax? So with the feet about hips width apart and the toes pointing forward, we're going to place our hands just below the belly button. In Taijiquan, just below the navel is the energy center, is the Danshan. And this is where the qi in the body is stored. So for women, what you want is you want to take the right hand and place it just below the navel and then place the left hand on top. For men, it's just the opposite. For men, place the left hand just below the navel and the right hand on top. And some of the reasons why we use different hands, I think a lot of it is tradition, but also Taijiquan comes from a Taoist philosophy, and many of you have heard yin and yang philosophy. So because yin and yang, it was perceived that women were the yin and men were the yang. So the left hand is considered yin, the right hand is considered yang. And so that's pretty much where we are. So again, for women, place the right hand on just below the navel and the other hand covering. Men, place the left hand just below the navel and the other hand covering. So we'll start by lightly touching the tip of the tongue to the roof of the mouth. And what that does is it connects a circulation in the body, a qi circulation called the governing and conceptual vessel. So what we do is we lightly place the tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth. We can take a moment and close the eyes and just place your hands, or I should say, just place your mind where your hands are, right on the Danshan. And we'll just take a few breaths there. We'll take a moment to just relax before we start. Just listening to your breath, not focusing on anything, just relaxing. Have a slight bend in the knees. And as always, keep the back straight. Okay, so we can open the eyes and relax the tongue, relax the arms. So now continuing in this stance, what we'll do is we'll raise the arms, just like we do in open Tai Chi. We'll raise the arms to just about shoulder level, keeping a nice bend in the elbow, a nice relaxed wrist. Relax the shoulders. Just bring the arms up to shoulder level and then drop down in front. Now, as we do that, as we raise the arms, we'll breathe in. When the arms reach the top, we breathe out. So this is one continuous breath. We don't hold the breath. We just take one continuous breath, breathing in and breathing out. And what you want is you want the breath to be in synchronization with the arms. So if you have a shallow breath, your arms might move quicker. If you're able to take a slow, long breath, your arms can move slower. So let's just do that a few times. Close the eyes and just breathe in as the arms come up at your own pace, and breathe out as the arms relax. And let's go one more time. Breathing in and breathing out. Once more, place the hands just below the Dan Shen. Women, place the right hand on the Dan Shen first. Then place the left hand on the Dan Shen. And again, close the eyes and just take a moment. And then we can relax the arms, open the eyes. So before we get into the next or last two postures, let's sort of revisit some of the postures to have a clear understanding of what's going on. So as always, with all of the postures, you want to have the top of the head reaching up to the sky. You want a nice, so you want the back straight. You don't want to be leaning too forward. As always, all of the joints in the body have a slight curve to them. So, for instance, in Pat the Wild Horse's mane, when we're here, there's a nice curvature of that lower arm. And likewise here, the upper arm, there's a nice curvature in the elbow. The back is straight. And then we look at the legs. There's a bend in both legs. There's more of a bend in that front leg and a little bend in the back leg. So through all of your postures, always remember that. Have a nice curvature in the limbs, the arms and the legs. The other thing that you want is all of the postures, you want to make sure that you're not blocking your vision. You want to be able to see over the fingertips. So just remember that. Through all of the postures, there will be times when we do move our hand in front, but what I'm saying is all of the postures, when you finish the posture, you should be able to look over the fingertips. Don't block the vision. Pay attention to the back leg. So when we're in mountain climbing stance, as we're moving, make sure that that back leg, the back foot, is angled out slightly. So I'll give you this angle here. So the front foot is pointing towards you, and the back foot has a slight angle to it. So anytime you're going through your postures, check that back foot and make sure that it has that angle, and it's not pointed at a bad angle like this that could hurt the knee. So you always want to have the toe pointing at a slight angle this way, the front toe pointing forward. And I mentioned before, what that does is it gives us two things. It gives us a strong posture, and also we're not going to hurt the knee. So just keep that in mind. Once again, a good, strong back. Nice body posture. The other point is, through all of our movements, what we want is, we want the elbow to be relaxed. The elbow is typically below the wrist. So we're not at an angle like this. For instance, when we're doing cloud hands, we're not moving across this way with the elbow in line with the wrist. The elbow is relaxed and the wrist is higher. So through all of our postures, always remember that. Keeping the elbow relaxed and also the shoulder relaxed. Now, all these things will come in time. They will happen on their own. But just sort of, file that in the back of your mind. Keeping the arms nice and relaxed. And eventually what's going to happen is, it's going to feel like the arms are just floating in space. Like it's not requiring any effort on your part. They're just moving on their own accord. So with that, let's get into the next two postures, the last two. So last week we finished with grass the sparrow's tail on both sides. So we were here on the right side of the body. This was our first grasp the sparrow's tail. And now we change sides. We go to the left side, which means the left foot is going to step out. So now we do grasp the sparrow's tail on the left side of the body. And this is where we finished last week with our push. from grass to sparrow's tail. So now we continue with our cross hands, which is our first posture, and then closed Tai Chi. The hands come down and the feet come together. And that's it, and you're done. So what we do is we finish with our push. So grass to sparrow's tail on the left side of the body. So left leg is forward. We finish with our push. So now I'm going to go towards my center, but then I'm going to go past center at a slight angle to the right side of my body. And then both hands are going to scoop down in front of the body. That right leg will come in, and the hands are crossed in front of me. And then I would separate, relax the arms by the sides, and then the left leg steps in. So as you remember, when we open Tai Chi, the feet are together, right? We step out with the left. So now we're just going to be stepping in with that same leg, stepping in. So nothing really to remember there. So I'll give you a back view. So we finished here with our grass to sparrow's tail. So I turn almost to the other side, but I'm at a slight angle. I'm not completely on the side of me. And then I reach down towards my right knee, and my hands cross. My hands cross in front of me as I pull that right leg in. My hands come up to about chest level so I can see over the top. The hands separate, relax by the sides, and then that left leg steps in. So let's take a look at some of the footwork. So our first posture is cross hands. So this is our first posture here, cross hands. In our Chinese translation, 狮子手. So we start with grass to sparrow's tail. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shift my weight back slightly to take weight off that front leg. From here, I'm going to pivot on the heel of that foot, so I can pivot the toe forward. So I relax back, I pivot on the heel, but you can see that my body's turning also. So it's not just my leg that's turning, my whole body's turning, facing center. So from grass to sparrow's tail, push, I relax back, my body turns to center, and I pivot on that heel, the front heel. Now what's going to happen is, as I move in this direction, my left hand is going to stay pretty much where it is. So I'm here, I rock back, and then my body moves to center. So you can see that my left hand kind of stays where it was in the beginning. And now my other hand is being pulled because my waist is turning. My right hand is being pulled across my body. So I'm here. I sink back, take weight off the front leg. Everything turns to center. And that arm, the right arm, gets pulled across. From here, what I need to do is I need to shift my weight so I take some of the weight off that right leg. And now I can pivot on that heel, turning it at a slight angle in that direction. So it's not pointing forward like the left leg. So from our push, my body begins to turn. I continue turning, and now at this point here, my body is somewhat centered. I'm looking forward. My left toe is pointing forward, but my right toe is pointing to that corner of the room. So So from here, I rock back. My right arm gets pulled across my body. Now I shift my weight slightly to the left so I can pivot on that right heel. So from here, see, I can turn, my whole body can turn facing that corner of the room. So you can see this posture is very wide. My arms are very open. I have a big curvature in both of the arms. So what you can sort of visualize is we're in this position here. I want you to visualize somebody coming up behind you and putting their hand on your shoulder. So we're here. I'm turning towards that person behind me. I'm defending myself. As some of you know, this is also a martial art, which comes, later down the line if you so choose. But somebody places their hand on your shoulder, so I'm turning in their direction. So now my left leg, my left toe is pointing forward. My body is towards that front corner of the room, and my right toe is also that front corner of the room. So I'm going to give you the back view here. So here, I'm in push. See, I sink back. I turn that heel in. Now I turn the other heel to the other side, and I'm here. The other thing that I'm doing is, this is a little bit more technical. The other thing that I'm doing is, my right hand, as I begin to turn, my palm is facing outward as I make that move. All right, so the hand is not, the palm is not facing me. My palm is away from me. So I turn my front foot, I turn the other foot, and I'm here. Again, I'll give you this back view here. So I relax back, I pivot on that front heel, turning my waist at the same time. I turn the other heel, and I'm here. So now what I do is, I bend at the waist a little bit. Just a very slight bend forward towards my right knee. My two hands will cross. So my hands are palm upwards. My right hand is the low hand. So after I open here, I scoop down. So when I say scoop, what you want to imagine is the fingertips are coming together, and the right hand is the low hand. So the two hands come together, the fingertips point towards each other. And imagine scooping something, scooping. And the right hand is the low hand. And then we cross. So at this point, we're actually crossed at the wrist. One wrist is on top of the other wrist. So from here, with our push, I relax back, I turn that front toe in as I turn my body, turning the other toe out. I bend down towards my right knee, and I scoop. Again, both palms are now face up. The right hand is the low hand. So from here, my body moves back to center. As my hands come up towards my chest, my right toe pulls in. And it's at this point here, both of the toes point forward. So I'll give you this angle again here. So I'm turning the front leg, turning the other leg. I bend at the waist and scoop with both hands. At the wrist, So both of the wrists are on top of each other. My body moves to center, and my hands begin to come up as I drag that right toe into the body. So here we are here. My hands are crossed. So at this point, your left palm is the closest hand to you, to your body. Your left hand is the closest hand to your body. And you're looking at both palms like an X shape. So from here, I bend at the waist and scoop. Both fingers, the fingertips come together, but the right hand is the low hand. And now the wrists are crossed. I come to center, dragging that front leg into the body, and I'm here. All right, so I'll go through that a couple more times without any instructions. I'll give you different angles. Okay, I'll give you a back angle, starting with our push. All right, the thing you want to avoid is as we turn to this side, keep the elbow and shoulder relaxed. So as we turn, don't bring that shoulder up high, but keep the shoulder relaxed and the elbow relaxed, and just turn the palm outwards. So we're here, just turn that palm outwards, but keep the shoulder and elbow relaxed. Don't rise it up. All right, so let's move on to the second posture. But first, one important thing is when you're practicing Taijiquan, have some water you can, get to every now and then. So our next posture, right here, is closed Tai Chi. And that's it. So our Chinese translation for a closed Tai Chi is Shou Shi. So we hear our first posture, and then we're here. So this is very, very simple. So here, what we want to do is rotate the hands, the palms, so they palm down, but keep the wrist connected. Don't lose connection with the wrist. Just turn the palms so they face down. So what that does is your left hand should be on top now. So from here, we cross hands. Now to close, all we do is rotate both palms so they face down. The left palm, or I should say the left wrist, should be on top. Now from here, we just separate the two hands. Don't make a move out of it. Just separate the two hands. It's not a move. Separate the hands till they're about in line with the shoulders. And then we relax the elbows, relax the shoulders, and the hands follow to the sides of the body. And then we shift all the weight to the right leg, coming up on that left toe first. Pick up the left leg, place it next to the other on the toe first. And then placing both feet flat on the ground. And that's our closed Tai Chi. So from here, we cross hands. So make sure that the wrist stay connected and just turn at the wrist so the palms are face down. The left palm is on top. Just separate the two hands. So they're about shoulder apart. Now we relax the arms by first relaxing the shoulders and then the elbows and then the hands go last by the sides. And what I mean by that is to give you this angle here, we're relaxing from the shoulder to the elbow to the hands. So in other words, we're not doing this. We're not just rotating at the shoulder to bring the hands down all at the same time. We're relaxing. Relaxing the shoulders, the elbows, and you can see that the elbows are already dropped. My hands are still high, and then I relax the hands. So it's just like our open Tai Chi. When we open, you see the wrists are coming up before the elbows. So it's the same thing like open Tai Chi. So we start from last week. We scoop. Just rotate at the wrist. So the palms are face down. Left hand is on top. Separate the two hands. Relax the shoulders, relax the elbows. And then the hands relax by the sides. Shift all the weight to the right leg, coming up on the other toe. Pick up the left leg, place it next to the other on the toe first. And then both feet are flat on the ground. We have our closed Tai Chi, excuse me. So from here, we cross hands by scooping. We turn both palms face down and separate the hands. We relax the hands by the sides. That left leg, one movement at a time, comes into the other. And then close. Okay, give you a back view. Okay, so that's it for today's lesson. I'm going to come a little bit closer here. So that's it. 16 posture yang style Taijiquan. So really from here, just practice whenever you have time. My practice traditionally, it's throughout the day. There are certain blocks of time that I'm obviously practicing in a park or something, but I can practice Taijiquan while I'm at work, a little bit here and a little bit there. Anytime I have some space, some free time. So from here, just keep practicing. It gets better over time. Try to make it smoother. Once you have the posture memorized, the complete form, once you have it memorized, then really the next step is to be able to go through without any breaks. And what I mean by that is go to the link below and watch my demonstration. And what you'll see is you can see each posture, but then what you want is you want the appearance where you don't know where one posture ends and the next posture begins. They sort of blend into each other or sort of morph into each other. Now that's going to take a long time, but that is one of the goals, to make it fluid without any stopping. I was told by my teacher a good way to understand how Taijiquan moves is to study the way a tree moves. When the wind is blowing, watch how the branches move from side to side. The branches, they don't stop at one side and then come back. They move from one side and then they sort of circle back and move to the other side. And then they circle. Another analogy is if you look at the ocean, when the tide comes in and the tide goes out, but it never stops. And when the tide comes into the shore, it doesn't stop quickly and then go back. It sort of rolls in on itself, and then it starts going in the other direction. And this right here is yin-yang philosophy. How we have this constant yin and yang moving together. There is never a complete yang or complete yin. It's always rolling in on each other. Beginning with yang rolling into itself and then becoming yin, or vice versa. So that's it. Just keep practicing and you'll start to discover all the health benefits that Taijiquan has to offer. But your Taijiquan journey is just beginning. Keep practicing, have fun with it, and practice in the park. It's also an opportunity to meet people. I met a student, not my student. I was in the park just yesterday, and I met a student of Taijiquan that we had a nice conversation there. So if you want to schedule a private class, give us a call. Call Meta Wellness. If you want to schedule an Ayurveda session, call Meta Wellness with Heather, and she'll do a Ayurveda consult with you. So we have a lot of things here at Meta Wellness, and we're playing it safe. We have all the precautions here that we need to for this epidemic. So that's it for now. This lesson was a short one, and I'll see you next time. Take care.